So you're thinking about moving to Idaho and getting your little slice of acreage in heaven, but what are the best towns in the Boise area to buy acreage? Let's find out. Before we get started, my name is Isaac Crace. I'm a third-generation realtor here in the Boise, Idaho area. So if you or anyone you know is thinking about making the move to the Boise, Idaho area, let's connect and make that dream come true. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode because I've got a great one for you. I'm going to go over each and every town in the Boise area and rank them in accordance of how good they are for buying acreage properties, saving the best for last. And you're going to want to stick around for that one because it kind of surprised me as well. I'm going to look at everything from availability of homes to price of acreage properties and what I generally think about each of the towns. So without further ado, let's get started. Coming in at number 8 is going to be Star, Idaho. Originally a small bedroom community to Eagle and about 30 minutes northwest of Boise, Star's gained quite a bit of popularity, boasting a host of newer construction communities, many of them nestled among man-made lakes with a large portion of the homes having huge extended RV garages attached. At the time of making this video, there are currently 19 acreage properties for sale with a median asking price of $1.08 million. And a starting price for acreage properties is going to be in the high 700s. So it's not uncommon to look for acreage properties in Star. In fact, just last week I was showing acreage properties in Star to my clients. The thing is that since Star is so small, the amount of homes that are coming available isn't going to be very many, and the price is up there. Now, since Star is so small and it was originally a bedroom community, there's not a whole lot of infrastructure as far as shopping and just amenities there. Now, just recently, they have gotten an Albertsons and they are getting a few more chains, but other than that, there's not a whole lot of shopping. So if you want to live in Star, you're going to have to most likely go outside of Star to do your shopping and all your entertainment and stuff like that. Number 7 is going to be Kuna, Idaho. This one is probably going to be stepping on the toes of a handful of people as it is considered a very farmy community. It's home to a host of dairies and even one of the biggest slaughterhouses in the U.S. With a population of just under 30,000, Kuna is definitely not a big town by any means. At the time of making this video, there are only 22 acreage properties for sale with a median asking price of $1.2 million. And just to break into the market, you're looking at the mid-700s range. Kuna has a lot going for it as it's relatively close to Boise and Meridian for commuting, and since it's situated south of everything, the only traffic you're going to have is local. But there are some bigger concerns with the area. As the town has exploded in size the last couple years, the city sewer system has not been able to keep up and it's currently over working capacity. The other con is going to be price. Since the supply is lower than the surrounding areas, there is a higher demand driving prices with it. And one last thing before we move on past Kuna that I have to note, honorable mention or not so honorable mention. In recent controversy, Facebook or Meta is building a huge facility in Kuna. It's a huge project, so whether you like that or not, that is something to keep in mind if you're considering Kuna, Idaho, as it's getting a huge Facebook/Meta, whatever they call it, facility there. Number 6 is going to be Meridian. Located in the center of the Treasure Valley, Meridian boomed in the last couple years, outpacing Nampa and taking the trophy for the second largest city with a population of 126,000 people. With a city of that caliber, it's a given that there's a larger amount of properties for sale, giving a larger supply. At the time of making this video, there are 27 acreage properties for sale with a median price of $1.4 million and starting prices in the 800s. Meridian is a big city by Idaho standards and has a lot going for it from its infrastructure to its commerce, but it doesn't exactly fit the bill for a town that one would really look for acreage property in, as it's geared towards more of a suburban lifestyle. However, if you do like the proximity to amenities and just need more elbow room, Meridian can be a great fit, but the price tag is going to be reflective of that. Number 5 is going to be our state's capital, Boise. Nestled around the foothills in the Boise River, Boise is by far Idaho's largest city with a population of 237,000 people, which is easily double any other city in the entire state. At the time I'm making this video, there are 27 acreage properties for sale in Boise with a median price of $850,000, and you can actually find acreage properties starting in the 500s. Very similarly to Meridian, Boise is geared more towards a suburban/city lifestyle, which isn't what the majority of people look for when looking for larger properties. Boise, however, is more affordable than Meridian, likely due to its age, with acreage properties being on the older side in comparison to Meridian. More of the acreage properties are going to be a little bit newer, as Meridian is a newer city. Number 4 is going to be Middleton. Middleton is truly one of the last small towns in the area with a population of just under 10,000 people. At the time I'm making this video, there are currently 26 acreage properties for sale with a median price of $999,000, and starting prices are going to be around $600,000. Middleton really is exactly what many people want when looking for acreage properties from small downtown surrounded by open fields. Even though it's considerably smaller than larger cities like Boise or Meridian, it still has the same amount of larger properties. One of the biggest drawbacks for Middleton is going to be the property taxes. So Middleton is a part of Canyon County, which has a higher property tax levy rate than Ada County. But in addition to that, Middleton has the highest property tax rate in Canyon County. So it's the highest of all the valleys. So that's something to keep in mind if you're looking at buying property in Middleton. Number 3 is Eagle, Idaho. Eagle is going to be the more affluent area of the Treasure Valley, located northwest of Boise following the Boise River. There are currently 39 acreage properties for sale with a median price of $1.6 million. With prices starting in the 800s. Eagle is well known for its luxury living, but its background is largely farm related. In the 90s, Eagle's population was around 3.3 thousand in comparison to its 30-some thousand currently. So there is a lot of acreage property available for its size. The biggest drawback for Eagle is probably going to be its price, as the starting prices for acreage properties are starting in the 800s. That is considerably higher than even the median prices for the rest of the valley. So that's something to take into account if you're looking at Eagle or possibly considering Eagle. Our runner-up for best town to buy acreage in is Nampa. With a population of 106,000, it is the third largest city in the Boise area. It's located about 30 minutes west of Boise and definitely has more of a rural feel than the rest of the bigger cities, but still has a lot of the suburban growth. At the time I'm making this video, there are currently 54 acreage properties for sale with a median price of $899,000. Now keep in mind, the starting prices in Eagle and Meridian for acreage properties is in the 800s. So if the median price in Nampa is $899,000, then what's the starting price? Mid $400,000. So to say that there is a bit more bang for your buck would definitely be a true statement. The biggest con about Nampa in drawback is going to be the traffic. So since we've had such a recent spike in population growth recently, the city's infrastructure didn't really handle it because it was still set up like it was designed 100 years ago, and the city has been playing a game of catch up instead of get ahead. So it has caused a lot of traffic issues in the area. And the best city to buy acreage homes in the Boise area is Caldwell, Idaho. I know this is probably a big surprise to many, but even though Caldwell is the 4th largest city in the area, it is very much a farm community with 81 acreage homes for sale at the time I'm making this video, with a median price of $899,000 and prices starting in the mid 400s. Caldwell really is a sprawling town reaching from the Sunny Slope area by the Snake River all the way up to Middleton. Caldwell has gotten a bad rap, and you've probably heard about it as a place that's filled with gang violence and it's totally unsafe, except it isn't really true. In fact, Caldwell is safer than Garden City, which is basically a little part of Boise, and nobody says that Boise is dangerous or not safe or anything of that. And in my experience, most of the people that say, ooh, Caldwell, haven't even been to Caldwell. They're just spreading rumors that have been told to them by other people who haven't even been to Caldwell. And another one of the biggest drawbacks of the Caldwell area is going to be access to the rest of the valley. If this is fixed, I seriously think Caldwell could be the next big city. But let me explain why the access is not so great. So Caldwell sits just north of Nampa on the west side of the valley, and you have 3 I-84 interchanges that get to it. You have Karcher, 2026, and Highway 44. Now, out of all those 3, those are the only ways you're getting in and out of Caldwell. A lot of Caldwell is centered in between the 2026 interchange and the Karcher interchange, which doesn't allow a lot of people to get to the center of Caldwell. And the Karcher interchange is particularly bad because that feeds a lot of Nampa as well. So you have Nampa and Caldwell trying to get off and on that Karcher interchange. And in addition, there is a huge cluster of big box stores around the area. I mean, there's Costco, there's Target, there's Sportsman's Warehouse, there's Home Depot, Lowe's, all that kind of stuff, and then a bunch of eating and entertainment. So you have 3 huge different sources of traffic trying to use that one exit. Now, if you look right here, this is the U-Stick area. I really think if they put an on and off ramp right there at the U-Stick area, that would alleviate a ton of issue because it's dead center right between Karcher and 2026. But they are actually rebuilding it right now, into an overpass, not on an off-ramp. So I don't know. That's beyond me as to why they're doing that and why they don't put it on an off-ramp. Like I was saying, Caldwell has a lot going for it, especially with its downtown area and by the Indian Creek Plaza and the Indian Creek Steakhouse. The Caldwell development and the mayor has done a great job of totally revitalizing the area. I mean, people drive all the way from Boise just to come and have dinner and hang out in downtown Caldwell. So if that doesn't say anything, then I don't know what does. What did you think about the rankings? Were you surprised as I was? Which cities could you possibly see yourself looking for acreage property in or living in acreage property in? Comment that down below and let me know what you think about the actual rankings. If you like this video, you might want to check out my other videos right here and right here. And until next week, I'm Isaac Crace with Top Idaho Real Estate, your third generation Idaho Realtor.